Everyone noticed him the moment he stepped into the wedding hall, and just as quickly, they looked away. The music softened, conversations dipped, and a strange ripple moved through the room like a held breath. He was tall, dressed simply in a charcoal suit that had seen better days, his posture straight but guarded. One by one, guests adjusted their seats, clutched their purses, leaned closer to familiar faces. No one offered him a smile. No one offered him a seat. And if you've ever felt invisible in a crowded room, you already know how this story begins. Before we go any further, if stories that touch the heart and remind you of the quiet power of humanity matter to you, tap like, subscribe, and stay with us until the end, because what happened next changed every life in that room, including his. His name was Elijah Moore, though no one there knew it yet. To them, he was just the black man who didn't seem to belong. The wedding was extravagant. Crystal chandeliers, ivory roses, tables draped in silk, laughter that sounded expensive. Elijah stood near the entrance, hands clasped in front of him, eyes lowered, absorbing the unspoken judgment like he had done his entire life. He hadn't come to cause discomfort. In fact, he had almost turned back at the door. But something stronger than fear had carried him inside, something rooted in promise, memory, and love. Across the room, the bride, Claire Whitman, was laughing with her bridesmaids, radiant in white. She looked happy, but beneath the joy was a storm of nerves. Weddings had a way of bringing ghosts back into the light, and today, Claire was carrying one particular truth she had kept close to her chest. As she glanced around the room, greeting guests, her eyes suddenly found Elijah standing alone. In that instant, her smile faltered, not with shame, but with emotion. Her heart skipped, and tears threatened to rise. She knew he had come. And she knew what she had to do. But before that moment, before the name that would change everything, there was a history no one else in the room understood. Elijah had grown up on the wrong side of every statistic. His mother worked 2 jobs, his father left early, and the world taught him quickly what it expected of a boy who looked like him. He learned to keep his head down, his voice calm, his dreams quiet. When he was 19, a single mistake, being in the wrong car with the wrong friends, had landed him in prison for 5 years. He paid for it in full. He read books, earned certificates, worked in the prison library, and promised himself that if he ever got out, he would spend the rest of his life proving that redemption wasn't just a word people liked to say, it was something people could live. When he was released, the world wasn't welcoming. Jobs turned him away. Apartments denied him. Old friends disappeared. One rainy afternoon, soaked and exhausted, Elijah ducked into a small community center to escape the storm. That's where he met a teenage girl sitting alone, crying over a stack of college rejection letters. Her name was Claire. She was 17 then, overwhelmed and convinced she had ruined her future. Elijah had every reason to keep walking, but he didn't. He sat across from her, offered her his jacket, and listened. He didn't judge her tears or minimize her fear. He told her his own story, not as a warning, but as proof that life could bend without breaking. Over the next year, Elijah became a quiet mentor. He helped her study, encouraged her applications, reminded her of her worth on days she forgot it. He never asked for anything in return. When Claire got accepted into her dream university, she hugged him and cried harder than she ever had. Elijah smiled and said, "Just promise me you'll remember where you came from, and who believed in you when you didn't." They stayed in touch for a while, then life happened. Claire moved on, built a career, fell in love. Elijah moved quietly through life, working construction, volunteering at the same community center, helping others the way he once helped her. He never expected to hear from her again. But one day, an envelope arrived. A wedding invitation. And a handwritten note that read, "I wouldn't be who I am without you. Please come." It would mean everything. Now, back in the wedding hall, the whispers were growing. Some guests wondered if he was security. Others assumed he was lost. A few felt uneasy without knowing why. Elijah felt it all, standing still, refusing to let bitterness take root. He had come to honor a promise. That was enough. Then the music shifted. The bride stepped forward, microphone in hand, smiling as the room quieted. She thanked her parents, her friends, her husband. Laughter rippled. Then her voice trembled slightly as she said there was someone special she needed to acknowledge. The room stilled. Claire's eyes locked onto Elijah. "Elijah Moore," she said. The name cut through the air like a bell. Heads turned. Faces froze. That man, she continued, pointing gently, is the reason I'm standing here today. Murmurs erupted. Claire walked toward him, lifting her dress without hesitation. When I was 17, scared, and sure I had failed at life, he sat with me when no one else would. He believed in me when I didn't deserve it. He taught me that one mistake doesn't define you, and that compassion can save a life. Tears streamed down her face now. Everyone here knows me as a successful woman, a bride, a daughter. But before all of that, I was a lost girl. Elijah didn't see me as a problem.